This is a story about how Yellow Submarine blew my 6-year-old mind and made me what I am today, a literary critic. Hi, I'm David, and I make videos about literature, education, YouTube, and where these meet. Recently, my 8-year-old daughter developed a deep interest in the Beatles. She listens to their albums, memorizes their lyrics, and learns facts about their careers. She asks questions about all these. It's super cute and lots of fun for me. I suggested we watch a movie that I remembered enjoying as a kid, Yellow Submarine. If you don't know it, Yellow Submarine is an animated feature film. In it, the members of the band travel via Yellow Submarine to the undersea Pepperland in order to save it from the militaristic Blue Minis. The trip to Pepperland is, well, quite trippy, full of weird creatures and landscapes. Much of the movie is what we would now call music videos. I watched the movie with my daughter. Truth be told, as often happens when I watch TV with my kids, I dozed off. My daughter lost focus about an hour in. The film is a little slow for modern audiences, I guess. They say the Beatles weren't all that happy with the movie either. Anyways, the fact that I fell asleep says nothing of the movie and speaks mostly to how tired I am. However, watching some of the movie made me think about the first time I watched the movie when I was 6 or 7. We found Yellow Submarine in the video shop in a suburb of Boston. For some reason, the case had art from the Sesame Street version of Yellow Submarine. We took it home and watched. I might have been disappointed that there were no Muppets. I know I didn't appreciate all the songs, but that's not the story. I guess my dad made a pirated copy of it somehow because in later years we had a copy at home. But that's not the story either. The story is about a small, very small joke. Near the beginning of the film, when Ringo is rounding up all of the other Beatles, we see a Frankenstein type monster on a slab. There's a lever by the slab. Young Fred, the emissary from Pepperland, tells Ringo he shouldn't be pulling the lever. Pulling the lever would be a bad idea. But Ringo pulls it anyways. He explains, I can't help it. I'm a born Liverpooler. My dad must have laughed at the joke, and I must have asked what was funny. The explanation must have been something like a lever is that handle you can pull or push, but Ringo was a Liverpooler in the sense that he was someone from Liverpool, the city in England where the Beatles came from. The joke was that Ringo was indeed born in Liverpool. He was a born Liverpooler. But of course, that did not mean that he had to pull each and every lever that he sees. And yet, that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. He pulled the lever and he couldn't help it. He's a born Liverpooler. Get it? Get it? No? I'll explain again. I'm over explaining because this is a story about explaining. Now, you might hear this explanation and think, oh, that's just a silly pun. But for me at 6 or 7, I guess it was a revelatory moment. I guess it was a revelatory moment. I realized the power of interpretation. You can take outside knowledge, the fact that the Beatles were from Liverpool, and you use that knowledge to make sense, to explain, to understand, to be in on the joke. At the same time, you pay attention to the language of the text. You notice that Liverpool and lever pulling sound the same, that it's a pun. It's a silly pun, but you need to pay attention in order to get it. At another occasion, my father told me the theory that the song Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds stands for the psychedelic drug LSD. Again, context about the world that there is such a thing as LSD can let you in on the meaning of the text. It takes the surreal song about the girl with kaleidoscope eyes and connects it to something in reality. And again, you need to notice the language of the text. Here, that Lucy Sky Diamonds might be shortened into LSD. These moments and moments like them had an unexpected power over me, I guess. They are part of what sent me on my path of being a literary critic and lecturer, someone whose job it is to mix outside knowledge and close attention to the language of the text in order to create a present and interpretation. What's the point of this story? It certainly isn't don't explain jokes to your kids or they might become literary critics. Most kids don't become professional literary critics. Don't worry about it. It's not a real danger. My father also explained Pythagoras' theorem to me, and I didn't become a mathematician. Really, no, I can't even do basic math, basically. What is the point then? I guess it's a way to explain what I am doing with my life, what I'm doing with this channel. I explain these jokes, most of them more elaborate and serious than Ringo's lever pulling. In a way, Yellow Submarine helps me also explain to my kid, to you, and to myself how deep this drive for analysis goes in my personal history. Sometimes people think of analysis and criticism and explaining as something secondary. Either it's more sophisticated than simple childlike enjoyment, or it's a distraction from simple childlike enjoyment. Whether you like criticism or not, criticism is seen as something that comes later. For me, though, it seems that's not exactly the case. Analysis has always been part of my childlike wonder at art. Thank you for listening.